Hello and welcome back to the Balance Training and Coaching channel. My name is Kurt and I'm here once again to present a video for a new delegate who was on a course recently, whose name is now Charlotte at Company T. And today's topic, as you've probably seen by the title, is giving feedback, how to avoid saying something inappropriate after you've given it. Therefore, we have a reasonably short video. And Charlotte, as you know, if this gives you something useful to use, I've got 5 things for you, then great. If kind of not, as you know, just get in touch, let me know, and I'll make a second video for you promptly. Therefore, yes, this is a common thing I find, particularly in the UK, the tendency to overtalk once someone's given feedback and or to dampen or soften or weaken the feedback once it's been given. Almost always I find this is because the person giving the feedback is well intentioned, they mean well, they want to do a good job, they're fine with their own staff overall, and they want him or her as the recipient of the feedback to just feel fine about it, that's all. So it's well intentioned. Therefore, what can we do? Well, I said I've got 5 things, so we'll go through, and Charlotte, you can play around with these if you wish. Now the first one is, I'm smiling because I agree with something you said when we spoke about this. And so my first point is actually something you said yourself. Yes, just don't say it. I know that's a bit unfair, and of course it's very easy to give advice, as we know, when we're not in the situation. That said, you yourself said this. You said, you know, I think I just need to not say anything when I've given the feedback. Just hit the full stop. And I completely agree with you. Yes, you know, get into the habit of hitting the full stop. You tend to find that you only need to do this about 3 times, maybe 4 times. You just start to create that habit of hitting the full stop. Therefore, if that suits you, Charlotte, go for that. I would really, really recommend it. The second point is something which can help facilitate the first point. It can be extremely useful to find your end line, as it's sometimes called. This is usually a short sentence that just helps you to close or bookend what you're saying. You know, you can rehearse it if you wish. Don't get too caught up in that, perhaps. But you know, if it's like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 words or so, yeah, feel free to rehearse it at home if you wish. When you're, you know, doing chores around the house, that can be a good time to practice saying lines out loud, assuming there's no one else in the house, unless of course you don't mind, in which case go ahead. And yeah, just find that comfortable final line. It might be something, for example, such as, therefore that's what I wanted to let you know about in conclusion, or that's what I wanted to say, or that's a bit of feedback I wanted to give you. As you know, there are thousands and you need to choose the language that you feel most comfortable with. I really recommend that. That can be really quick and easy and make you feel much, much more confident. What do we have next? Yes. Another thing you can do, as well as or instead of, is to use an open question when you finish giving the feedback. Generally speaking, this is a good idea, and you want to do this because clearly you want to give the recipient an opportunity to respond to what you've just told them. Therefore, open questions, in case you don't know Charlotte, you probably do actually, but in case you don't, open prefixes such as what, why, when, where, who, which and how. They are commonly used to get the respondent talking. So for example, what are your thoughts on that, or how do you find that, or which aspects of that work do you believe you're going to respond to or adapt moving forwards, and so on. Again, if you want like 20 example questions, Charlotte, let me know and I'll make a very short video and I'll just read out 20 ways to ask an open question in this context. And of course, open questions then allow the respondent to talk, but it also encourages them to talk. Most managers, for example, tell me I really want him or her to talk to me when I've given them feedback, essentially because I want to know how they're taking it, and also because I want to make sure that they're going to do something about it as well. What you don't want to use, generally speaking, is too many closed questions. You can ask some, of course, to clarify and confirm and get decisions, but you don't want to ask too many closed questions, and particularly if the person that you're dealing with is in some way, shape or form shutting down through shyness or awkwardness or just defensiveness and aggression. So for example, closed prefixes such as do you, are you, can you, is it, does it, would it, could it, etc. Just be careful that you don't use too many of those. Okay, next one, yes. Frame it. This is the term I use, which is frame it. And what I mean by that is that, for example, let's say you, Charlotte, are the recipient of my feedback. So I'm your manager, I'm giving you the feedback, and I say, okay, at some juncture in our dialogue, I say, another thing I wanted to discuss with you, Charlotte, is just your attention to detail. Generally, I find it's very good. In the last 3 chapters, I've noticed that there have been 3 key omissions where you didn't spot the error. Now, in terms of general proofing, as you know, we just really need to be on top of quite significant errors and omissions. So moving forwards, I need you to make sure that you triple check as per the copy on those chapters. Framing it will be something like this. I've used one already, you might have noticed. I said, generally speaking, I find that your work is very good, so that frames it for the recipient. But you'll notice, what's the first thing you're thinking when I give you that feedback? Chances are you're thinking, okay, what's he talking about? Locating the point I'm giving. Then thinking, did I do it? Is that true? Is that correct? Then probably thinking, yeah, but how much of a deal is that? And you might also be thinking, but how many times have I done that? You know? So instantly you are trying to frame it as the recipient. What's the magnitude of this error? And what's the frequency perhaps, i.e. how many times have I done it? So actually verbalizing through framing where they sit can really help. Therefore, you might say something such as, Charlotte, for me personally, all the work you're doing is really good, and I've only got one edit for you, and it relates to proofreading. Specifically, it's not a major error in my experience or opinion. It's a moderate one, and therefore we just need to address it. You can also take the word just out. You know, that's a very British, very English thing as well. Say, just need to. You could say, we need to edit that one out. So, feel free to frame it for them, because within seconds, that's what they're trying to do themselves. Okay, number 5 is what I've just been talking about, which is frequency and magnitude. Now, what's good about this one is that I've already got another video just on this. So if you want to, Charlotte, feel free to check out that video. It's very short, and it's just on frequency and magnitude, and explains it comprehensively, pretty much. To give you a line or two on it, I often start this by asking people, have you ever received a bit of critical feedback and part of you has thought, really? You're going to feed back to me on that? God, there's surely bigger problems than that. This is a very simple tool that you can use to check first before you consider giving the feedback. And when you've done this, if you decide, yes, I'm still going to give the feedback, you should be A, significantly more confident, and B, you should be far more specific and accurate in your precision when it comes to giving the feedback. Therefore, please do check that out if you wish, Charlotte. It's a useful tool. I just call it frequency and magnitude to give it an anchor. And that's it. Just 5 things for you there. Like I said, if they help, that's great. If it's not quite, let me know. I'll give you additional items as well. In which case, all the best to you, Charlotte. Good luck with that. I hope it goes well. I'm sure it will. And I'll see you around. Take care.